What's up, guys? For Complex, I'm Natasha Martinez, chatting with Grammy Award-winning and multi-platinum hip-hop producer Murda Beatz. Murda, how's it going? Thanks for joining us.
How's it going? You know, I'm just chilling, quarantined in LA right now.
I definitely wanted to ask you about your love of video games because I'm sure you've been playing a bunch in quarantine. You know, recently Joe Rogan kind of got some backlash because he said that video games are a waste of time and you can't get anywhere with it. But how have video games benefited you besides just being a hobby? Is there like crossover with, you know, music and your growth in that?
If you really think of it, like making music the way we make music on computers, kind of like a video game. So I feel like my understanding for like video games and playing, it kind of like helped me with like the software stuff of like making music. And like, you know, like my mom always used to be like, get off the video games, all that stuff. And now it's like, I'm invested in like a company called the Players Network. Mm-hmm. We have like a bunch of like musicians, athletes, and everyone. It's like they premiered on like Twitch. It's like a whole network. It's like the MTV of video game. I'm getting paid to play video games, so
that's the dream. That's every gamer's dream. Okay, but
it's fun.
Who's the best gamer out of like the rappers and athletes?
I think I'm like really good.
I think
I'm good. Quavo's pretty good too. Shout out my boy Quay. He's good. But yeah, I think I'm pretty decent at like a lot of gaming. I haven't even really been playing like that. I've been like super focused on making music.
Definitely, which we're going to get into right now because you just released your new single Doors Unlocked with Dolla and Polo G. So talk to me about that track because it's more of an R&B vibe, which people aren't really used to hearing much from you. So is this kind of an indicator that you're going to be doing more unexpected sounds for your future releases?
Yes and no. Like I'm definitely going to like stick to the bread and butter of like what I like because I love trap music a lot, but I like to just show like my versatility, like, you know, like I like to do everything.
Is there an official release date for Keep God First 2 yet?
Nah, there's no official release date.
Ooh,
I'm still trying to figure everything out. I'm still
okay.
just figuring everything out, dropping singles, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, like I'm just going with the flow. But I'm not really in a rush, you know, I'm enjoying life right now. I'm enjoying the new music I'm creating with people. So I'm just excited just to keep releasing new music for everybody.
Talking about the title, you know, you tweet that phrase, keep God first, a lot. And I found that you always make it a point to talk about God in different interviews. I feel like hip hop doesn't talk about religion much. Are you a religious person? And why is it important for you to be so vocal about it?
I feel like I have my own relationship with God. Like I don't go to church or anything. And I wasn't like raised on a certain religion. I was kind of raised just like whatever I choose when I grow up, like that's the right thing to do. But I kind of found God through music. Like I started like believing in God. Like I didn't really believe in God before I was making music, but then like when like I started seeing success like coming into my life and I started like believing that there was a higher power and I started like moving in faith and like everything started to connect with me. So I always like tweet stuff like that just like to keep myself focused. And then also like if someone's having a bad day and they go on Twitter and they see that, it might remind someone like there is a higher power and there is someone that they can pray to and their prayers can be answered on the daily, you know?
You said, you know, you're not rapping, but these last 2 singles that you've come out with and then now your debut album, you're really solidifying your place as a solo artist. What are the chances that we could hear Murda Beatz dropping bars on, you know, one of your own projects?
Maybe, I don't know. I definitely like can rap a little bit. I feel like every producer can like rap because you're just like around, like you see how like songs are made from scratch. Like I've seen so many songs made from like nothing, you know? And then you see like the formulas of how people like do wordplay and how they structure records and stuff. So I feel like every producer can kind of like songwrite a little bit and like just like, you know, a few of us are like been in the studio with the most talented artists. So, you know, you have an understanding of how to make records.
Have any of those artists that you worked with ever heard you rapping or no, you keep it to yourself?
Wait, no, PARTYNEXTDOOR has.
Oh, okay. You see any feedback?
He thinks I'm pretty good, I'm not gonna lie.
Nice. Okay, I'm putting it out in the universe
that's hilarious. That's funny.
Some bars. I love it. Okay, so talking about all of the artists that you work with, you've obviously always had a lot of heavy hitters, you know, especially on Keep God First. So when you do release your debut album, I don't know, is there anyone in particular that you're excited for us to hear from as far as features go?
Definitely like the same kind of people, you know, like the same people, like the day ones, and then obviously just like new talent. Definitely excited for people this year, new talent. I feel like that's like what I want to focus on now, you know?
Yeah.
The new generation and just like breaking new talent. You know, like I did, there was like a lot of new talent on Keep God First One. And there was like a lot of the artists I had on there were kind of like on there before they kind of popped off as well. So kind of want to do like the same thing.
This artist that I'm going to name has definitely already popped off, but I found it hilarious that you and Jack Harlow were being compared to looking alike to each other. And you went ahead and like tweeted Photoshop a picture of you guys as stepbrothers. Can we get a Murda Beatz Jack Harlow collab? And it's got to be titled Step Brothers.
Gotta wait on it, maybe, you never know.
I love it. And then you've also talked a lot about how rock music really shaped you in your beginnings. How about a rock hip hop crossover? Do you see that happening on one of your projects? Yeah,
100%. Honestly, like I had a special secret feature that I was gonna put on Doors Unlocked, but it just didn't pan out properly. So probably gonna do that for one of my upcoming singles. And I definitely like wanna make like a full blown like rock album. Like I just feel like it'd be so fun just to go in the studio, have all the equipment and just like really just like jam and have fun and like make music. I've done it a couple times. Like I've recorded some stuff and like it's actually like really fun.
Would you be on drums at all, you think?
Yeah, like I would love to be on drums. I'd love to like maybe play some keys or something. Do some like background vocals or something. I don't know. It's like fun.
Well, I'm very excited for that era. You've worked with just about everyone in the game at this point in your career. So what determines for you who you decide to work with now, whether it be somebody new or someone that you've collaborated before?
It's literally like if an opportunity will come up, like, oh, do you want to work with them? And like I'm like a fan of their music and I think that we could like do damage and make some cool records, I'm down. Or like if I come across like a new upcoming artist that I haven't really heard about or like I don't see it like a lot of people co-signing yet, I like to like hop on some stuff early, you know?
Mm-hmm. Do you have a feature wish list at this point?
I want to work with Ariana Grande. Definitely like some Bieber. Yeah, there's like this new guy, Hot Boy, I've been listening to from Florida. He's super fire. He's super talented. He's dope. Yeah, there's a lot of people though.
You've been producing now for almost a decade, and throughout that time, you've now worked with different generations of rappers. Of course, starting with Chief Keef and the Migos, then Polo G, YNW Melly. So what would you say are some of the major components about each generation of rappers that differentiates them, whether it be style or sound-wise?
I feel like this new generation is like really like amazing and like very talented, you know what I mean? And maybe they don't get the credit they deserve. Like you can see a lot of like older people like hating on a lot of like the new generation and stuff, but I feel like we're very talented and getting very creative. So
have you seen that each generation, maybe they like hate on each other, but they almost like take things from each other at the same time?
Yeah, no, like that was like a big thing where like when I started working with the Migos and then I saw like their whole wave take off, just like seeing how every rapper in the industry like took from them and like just to see that. And now like even like the hottest rappers that are out now, like it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's all bit off of like their style, you know? So it's just crazy to see that.
So, speaking of generations, right? You worked a lot with Lil Durk since the beginning of your career when you were in the Chicago drill scene. So what was it like for you when drill had its resurgence in Brooklyn and really blew up with artists like, of course, the late Pop Smoke and Fabio Foreign?
No, I think it's dope. And honestly, in an interview last year, I said that I thought that the next big artist was going to be from the UK. And it's just crazy that instead of like the next artist being from the UK, it was like this whole sound from the UK was like the next sound. I don't really consider like the drill in Brooklyn like Chicago drill. It's like more like the UK sound, you know? It's like grime drill and all that stuff.
Earlier this year, you released Banana Split with YNW Melly and Lil Durk. You recorded with Melly before he was incarcerated, but why now to release the track?
So when we were in the studio, we like made like 5 or 6 songs, and then when he got locked up, I was kind of like waiting to see what he was going to use for his album, and he ended up using a different song from that night. So then I took that song, I put Dirk on it, and then I just released it. I always liked that song, but I was just waiting. I'd be forgetting about songs. Like we make so many records, like I just like forget about them, and then like remember I have them, and then like, oh shit, like I forgot about this song, and then
How many forgotten tracks do you think that you have that you could potentially release one day?
Tons. I have a whole forgotten album that I want to release. I just gotta bring it up to the artist.
Love it. All right, now, of course, speaking on Melly, we hope that he does get released this year. But he did talk to DJ Academics a few weeks ago, saying that when he does get out, he has an album fully ready to drop. Have you spoken with him, and are you on that album? Do you have any plans to collaborate on that album with him?
I definitely have plans to collaborate on it. I haven't spoken to him. I was talking to his team to release the song, and I'd be checking in sometimes and stuff. But yeah, free Melly, you know what I'm saying? That's my boy.
Again, getting back to the beginnings, obviously Migos, you guys, day ones. Very recently, a fan took to social media and said that the group had fallen off. Obviously, Offset clapped back at them. How do you take a comment like that when you hear it, being that you've been working with them since day one?
I don't think anyone's fallen off. But how I take comments like that, it's just like, I don't know, you just can't, you know what I'm saying? That's just like one person's opinion, like music's like an opinionated thing, and like there's always gonna be mixed opinions on everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I drop a song tomorrow, there's gonna be people that like it and people that don't like it. You just gotta keep moving, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole music thing too, it comes in waves. It's always like this, it's never just like straight ups or straight downs, you know what I mean? So just gotta keep it moving.
Do you think that it's easy to fall off in the music industry? Like, is there something to be said about constantly releasing things, or do you think that artists appreciate taking a break for their work?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like people need to take breaks, definitely like breaks can like hurt the consistency a little bit, but everyone needs breaks. At the end of the day, we're all human. We all bleed the same blood, and we all have to like work on, like we all have personal lives too and stuff. It's not just like, I know like a lot of us, like it is like 100% music, but we also like have personal lives too. Like everyone's growing up, like, like I remember when the Migos came in the game, these guys were 21 years old. I was like 18. Now these guys are like 28, 29. I'm like 26. Like we're growing up. Like people are watching like their favorite artists like grow up.
The Migos have been teasing the Culture 3, much like you've been teasing Keep God First 2. Do you have any insights if we're gonna get the Migos Culture 3 this year, next year? Are you on it? Can we hear your tags?
I think it's coming soon.
All right. I see a little something behind those eyes. As someone who's just been grinding and climbing for as long as you have and really reaching the pinnacle of success over the years, how do you continue to elevate as an artist to this day? Just like
you have to always remember like to have fun, and like do what you want to do. Like, like when you come up in this game and you enter an industry like the music industry, there's going to be a lot of people trying to drag you different ways and make you like do things you might not want to do or make music you might not want to make. So it's about just like staying true to yourself and remember where you come from and just do what you want to do. Because you know what I'm saying? Like just remember who you are and like this is your mission in your career. Like, like I know there's gonna be like other people helping you, like managers and lawyers and label people and A&Rs and publishers and everything, but at the end of the day, this is like what you created, so never forget that and just do what you want to do, and what makes sense for you at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And I also love that you're also helping out, you have that drum kit that you released. Is that important for you to give back to maybe some of your fans that look up to you and want to follow in your footsteps? Yeah,
100%. I always planned on releasing a drum kit. I feel like the beginning of quarantine was the best time because I was kind of bored and I was like, I want to like do something like fun, like for people like staying in and making beats. So like I decided to like drop my drum kit, the quarantine kit on Splice.
Well, Murda Beatz, thank you so much for joining us. Really excited for this next phase of your career and your artistry. I'm going to keep my ears out for that official solo project. But thanks for joining us here on Complex.
All right, thank you very much.